Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is with great pleasure that I get to announce to you the first ever United Draft Kingdom draft tournament. This is an event that's happening inside my Discord. We've got 16 active members of the community. Invites were sent out to the most active players that have been doing drafts in my Discord. And we're going to be running a little tournament with a Discord role and some RP for the winner. So yes, this is going to be my way of sort of explaining the format for everyone that wants to watch it, and also for everyone that's participating, because it's quite hard to explain it just over text. I feel like a video where I'm actually talking about it will make much more sense. So first off, there are two judges. There is me, and there is Foz. Okay? Now, the difficulty with having two judges is that sometimes our decision might be split, and that can lead to a bit of difficulty, because then you don't really have a tiebreaker. If the metrics for determining who wins each draft was only which one do you like more, we could be split on that. But one thing that me and Foz have done in the past, if you watched a lot of my videos, let me change to the pink pen because it's much more visible on this, and then I'll make it a bit thicker so that it's more visible. One thing we've done in the past is we've given metrics to how much we like a draft. Let's say we think red side stomped. We would say it's a 10-90, right? It's a 90-10 red side. Let's say we thought that blue side barely won, okay? We might call this a 55-45 blue side, okay? That's how me and Foz are going to rate all your drafts. So for every draft you do, myself and Foz are going to rate it. Let's say that player 1 drafts against player 3, okay? Player 3 is on red, player 1 is on blue, okay? I might think this is a 60-40 blue side, okay? And Foz might think this is a 90-10 blue side. So from this draft, player 1 would score 60 plus 90 points. So player 1 would score 150 points. Player 2 would score 40 plus 10 points. And player 2 would score 50 points. So that's the point scoring system for each draft. So the outcome of this draft would be that player 1 won it with 150 points to 50. Okay. So now that we've got our point scoring system, let's talk a little bit about the format. So the first weekend, we're going to be playing the group stage. The 16 players will be divided into four groups of four, rather, as you can see here. These are the groups. Okay? Within each group, you're going to be doing a double round robin. This means that each of you, let's say that you are player 1, okay? You will draft player 2 and player 3 and player 4, and then you will draft player 2 and player 3 and player 4 again. So you'll do 6 drafts, 2 against every other player in your group. So everyone will draft against every other player of their group twice. That's a double round robin. Okay? One of your drafts against them will be on red, one of them will be on blue. You'll get one on each side during this double round robin. Okay. Once that has been done, your scores from every draft, like the scoring we've just talked about, will be added up, and that's going to give you a total score. So let's say player 1, in their first draft, they scored 90 points, and then the next one they scored 50, and then their next one they scored 110, and their next one they scored 50 again, and the next one they scored 60, and then the last one they only scored 40. Okay, well this is 100, this is 300, they'd score a grand total of 400 points, okay? And that is going to be your final score of your group. Your cumulative score among all 6 of your drafts. Then, let's say player 1 got 600, player 2 got 450, player 2 got 100, and player 4 got 10. Right? These numbers aren't realistic, but that's just, I'm making it up, okay? Player 1 and player 2 are the highest scoring players in their group. So they will make it out of the group stage. As you can see, they're in green. Okay, they are out of groups, and they will move on into these knockout stages. Same for all of these groups. The top 2 highest scoring players will make it out of groups after your double round robins. The rest of you, the bottom 2 in each group, are eliminated from the competition. So that's your first round of eliminations, is if you don't make it out of your group. From there, your top scoring players from each group will be seeded against a second scoring player. So once we move into knockouts, every top scoring player will be seeded against the second scoring. So you can see here, 1 was first place, and 14 down here is second place. So it's first place against second. That's your reward for coming first in your group, is you play against someone who came second in their group. You can't play against someone that was in your group in the first round. So 5, they came first place. 10 came second place. And you can see, this is a running theme. 9 came first, 6 came second, 13 came first, 2 came second. So that's the first round, okay? From there, we're going to run Also, your group draw. Obviously, I'm doing it based on availability, as you've seen in the Discord, but your group draws will be random, and I will show you the group draws, as will these draws for your for the first bracket here. From there, if you win, you'll continue into the upper bracket. So in player one's case, you can see they win. That's why they're green, right? Greens are winners, reds are losers. Okay, so green number one wins, so they move into the next round of the upper bracket, whereas 14 losers, and they move down into the lower bracket. In this round, 5 losers, and they move down into the lower bracket to play against 14, and 10 wins, so they move up into the upper bracket to play against 1. And that's the format it's going to take. Now, from there, if you lose in the losers bracket, you see here 14 losers and 5 wins. So 5 moves on in the losers bracket, 14 is eliminated from the competition. If you lose in the losers bracket, you're out. If you then lose in the upper bracket, so let's say 10 here losers, they still haven't lost yet, so they still drop back down into the losers bracket. And they're 1 match higher than they would have been if they dropped down here. And you can kind of, if you imagine that you're any of these players and you just follow through on this diagram, you'll very quickly get a feeling for how it works, until eventually the winner of the losers bracket, number 9, goes into the grand final against the winner of the upper bracket. Okay, so what kind of drafts will we be doing here? We will be doing best of 5. Well, it's not really best of 5 because it's a cumulative score. We will be doing 5 drafts, okay? 5 drafts. Just like in group stage, we're going to add up all your scores, and that's your total score. And the player with the highest total score moves on. The player with the lowest total score loses and either drops into the losers bracket, or if they're already in there, is out of the competition. Okay. With there being 5 drafts, there's an odd number of side selection. So, the way we will determine that is, at least for these ones, if there is a seeding advantage, right? So here 1 is a first seed and 14 is a second seed, then 1 will get side selection. If there is no seeding advantage, so let's say 14 versus 5 here, okay? They both lost in the same place and moved into the losers bracket. So neither of them actually came from a different position in their previous round. There's no seeding advantage here. So how will this be determined? Well, if the two of you both agree, if 5 says I want blue and 14 says I want red, sorted, right? From there, we will switch sides every time. But if 5 says I want to start blue and 14 says I want to start red, fine, we'll do that. If you both say you want blue or you both say you want red, we'll flip a coin. And that's the only fair way we can do it, right? So, for example, in the grand final, there's a seeding advantage because 1 hasn't lost up until this point. They've won here, won here, won here, into the grand final. They have a seeding advantage, whereas 9 lost and then won into the grand final, but they came from losers bracket. Seeding advantage goes to number 1. 1 gets side selection in the first draft. So I think that's about it in terms of how the format works. So you go into your groups, you'll play a double round robin against each other. All your scores of your drafts will be added up, giving you your total score. The 2 players with the highest total scores will move into the bracket stage. That will be played the following weekend or potentially on weekdays, depending on scheduling. At this point, it will be up to you to talk to your opponent. You'll know who your opponents are and just figure out when you're available to do the drafts. So yeah. But yeah, then we'll go through this and yeah, if you're unsure of how the bracket works, just pretend that you are a certain player. Let's pretend we're number 2, right? We lost here, we dropped down into the losers bracket, we lost, we're out the tournament. Okay, let's pretend we are number 10. We won here, we move up here, we drop down into the losers bracket because we lost, and then we lost again, so we're out the tournament. Let's have a look at number 13. Okay, so we won here, so we move up. We lost here, so we drop down into the losers bracket. And then we won here, so we move up into the next round of the losers bracket. And then we lost here in the losers bracket, so we're out of the tournament. So yeah, you can basically just pick who you are and follow it through, and I'm sure it will make a lot of sense. So if you have any questions, drop them in the Discord or in the comments section. And yes, I look forward to judging this with Foz, uploading all the videos. There's going to be so much content for you guys that are just YouTube viewers and aren't in the Discord taking part in this. You're going to see a lot of draft reviews with me and Foz talking about it. So yeah, look forward to that. Thank you for accepting the invitations to everybody that did so. And I hope you all have a wonderful day and that you're looking forward to this as much as I am. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.